G'day folks, I'm Patrick from Estland, and today I'd like to talk about academic English, which is a very important thing to talk about because, most of you need academic English to pass an English exam or to enter university or to do well at university. So it's a very important thing, and I'd like to talk about it, and hopefully I can help you to improve your fluency in academic English, okay? Now, the first thing we're going to do is define academic English. What is academic English? Well, academic English is English we use at colleges and universities in study and research, okay? We don't use academic English in everyday situations, or we use everyday English or colloquial English for everyday situations, right? So I want to give you some tips to help you speak academically more fluently. And the first tip I'd like to give you today is always say or state, as we say academically, always state the context in which you are summarizing or discussing a topic, right? Now, this means that you should ask yourself, I'm thinking and talking about a topic in terms of what? What angle are you going to be looking at a topic from? What angle? Because you can view and speak about a topic in many different ways, in many different contexts. What is a context anyway? I mean, a context or context is a series of facts, factors, and circumstances that form the reality of a topic, okay? And don't worry if that is not very clear to you. Just wait a little bit and I'm going to give you some examples, okay? You'll understand. But first, I want to give you 10 very common context words that you're going to hear of in any academic conversation, almost any academic conversation. And I call them critical universal contexts, right? And they are, ready? Now, every time I read out some words, I want you to listen very carefully to the stress of the word, okay? How many syllables is the word and which is the strongest syllable? Where is the stress in every word? So here we go. Culture, globalization, society, economy, politics, science, history, religion, technology, geography. Now, the next thing you have to do is use and reuse the 10 context words clearly and creatively. What do I mean by creatively? That means you need to be able to use them and reuse them, to recycle those words by using them not only as nouns, because that's what I did. I just read them out to you as nouns. You have to be able to use them as adjectives and adverbs in the same conversation. So I'm going to read them out, but I'm not going to only read out the nouns. I'm also going to read out the adjectives and adverbs. So listen carefully. Culture, cultural, culturally. Globalization, global, globally. Society, social, socially. Economy, economic, or economical, economically. Politics, political, politically. Science, scientific, scientifically. History, historical, or historic, historically, religion, religious, religiously, technology, technological, or technologic, technologically, geography, geographical, or geographic, geographically. So now I want to give you some examples of how you can discuss a topic in different contexts. Now let's look at the internet as a topic. We all agree that the internet is a big topic, right? It's a common topic, it's a big topic. I can choose to discuss the topic of the internet in different contexts. I can talk about the internet in the cultural context or in the context of culture. I might want to discuss it in the social context or in the context of society. Or I might want to speak about it in the political context or in the context of politics. Did you notice how I'm using the nouns and adjectives of every context word? That's a very good tactic to improve your fluency. Use it, right? Okay. Now, next you have to think of and use a defining word for the context word, because context words are very broad. It's a broad angle, all right? If I say culture, I mean, culture is such a big thing. It's a context, right? So what do I need to do? I need to find a word that can give me more specific information about the topic, all right? It's going to give me a narrower angle. It's going to give me a narrower angle to view the topic from or to view the context from. So I don't want to talk about culture in general. I want to talk about the cultural role. Role is a defining word. It's defining the context, or it's narrowing the context, all right? It's not a very broad context. It's a very specific context. I want to talk about the internet in the context of culture, but I want to talk about the cultural role of the internet. Now, that is more specific. I want to talk about the cultural role of the internet. Okay? So, role is a defining word. Let me give you more words, more defining words. There are hundreds of them, but there are very common 10 words that I'd like to give you. And I'm going to start with role, but I'm going to add influence, significance, implications, connection, impact, aspects, challenges, benefits, value. Okay? Because the cultural role and the cultural implications of something are two very different things. And it depends on which one you're going to use. It's going to take a different approach. All right? The conversation is going to take a different path. So, very important for you to know the difference between one word and another. Okay. Now, we're going to move on to using synonyms for those defining words. If you don't know what a synonym is a word that has roughly the same meaning of another word. Okay? So, for example, you can say impact, but you wouldn't want to repeat the same impact a million times. You know, you want to use different words that have the same meaning or a similar meaning in the same conversation. So, for example, impact, I can say effect or influence. For the word importance, instead of repeating the same word importance a million times, I can use the word significance, value. What about the word implications? Okay, avoid using the word implications many times. Instead of the word implications, use the word ramifications or repercussions. Okay? How about the word connection? I can talk about the relationship. Instead of connection, I can talk about relationship or interconnectedness or interrelatedness. Right? How about the word aspects? I don't want to repeat the word aspects. I want to use roles or parts or facets. Challenges is a great word. But can I keep using the same word, challenges, over and over again? Of course not. But I can use the word problems or pitfalls or disadvantages or drawbacks or cons. And finally, the word benefits. I can mention solutions. I can say merits. I can use advantages or pros. All those words roughly mean the same thing. They don't have the same meaning, and you cannot always use them in the same sentence, but they have roughly a similar meaning. Okay, now I'm going to give you some verbs that you can match, right, with the defining words. Now, there are tons and tons, tens, hundreds of verbs that we can use for different purposes. But, you know, when we use the defining words like impact, for example, you know, there's a number of common verbs that we can really relate to the word impact. Let's imagine that you are summarizing a lecture and you want to, you know, say the speaker, what? What did the speaker do? The speaker studies, all right? The speaker studies the impact. The speaker examines the impact. The speaker looks into the impact. The speaker discusses the impact, right? What about if I use the word importance? What verbs can I use with the word importance? Well, I can say the speaker discusses the importance. I can say the speaker debates the importance. I can say the speaker highlights the importance or underscores the importance or emphasizes the importance or reviews the importance or evaluates the importance, right? How about the word implications? I wonder what verbs go with the word implications. Well, we can use discuss, we can use debate, we can use study, we can use look into, we can use investigate the implications, right? Okay, how about connection? Usually we can explore the connection. We can study the connection. We can examine the connection. We can investigate the connection. We can look into the connection, right? And finally, aspects. With the aspects, I can use name the aspects. I can name the aspects. I can list the aspects. I can mention the aspects. I can explain the aspects. I can detail the aspects. I can compare the aspects. I can describe the aspects, or I can identify the aspects. Do you see what we're trying to do? We're trying to focus on the vocabulary that you have to use in academic conversations. You are going to have to use those words, no matter what you do, okay? So, apart from the defining words and the verbs that I've just given you, you can use modifiers, all right? So, with the word role, I can use important role. I can say important role. I can say critical role. I can say key role. I can say essential role. I can say valuable role, right? If I talk about influence, then I can be talking about great influence, enormous influence, significant influence, large influence, considerable influence. How about the word significance? Well, I can say little significance, some significance, great significance, special significance. Now, with the word implications, I can say important implications, significant implications, many implications, few implications, some implications. But with connection, I can talk about interesting connection, unique connection, remarkable connection, problematic connection, profound connection, complex connection. How about impact? Well, I can say strong impact, weak impact, significant impact, insignificant impact, great impact, little impact. But for aspects, I would have to say numerous aspects, various aspects, a number of aspects, several aspects, many aspects, a few aspects. Let's look at challenges now. Well, I can talk about many challenges, a few challenges, several challenges, enormous challenges, tremendous challenges, right? And then finally, benefits. I can talk about some great benefits, many benefits, a few benefits, several benefits, numerous benefits, important benefits. Now, you know for a fact that this vocabulary is very important. You know that. I mean, you know you're going to have to use those words. I'm giving you the most common words that people use in academic English. Memorize them. You have to memorize them. You have no option. You have no choice. You have to memorize them, okay? Because you don't want to really take too much time thinking about the words when you are summarizing a lecture, or when you're trying to present something, or whatever you're trying to do academically. You have no time to think about the words. You have to have the words ready in your head and just out of your mouth. Spit them out. You cannot think about every word. You cannot pause and think. Pausing is very damaging for you. And how are you going to memorize those words? You're going to repeat them. Repeat them, repeat, repeat, repeat. That's the best way to do it, right? So if you think this clip is helpful, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. LSS, okay? Don't be selfish. You found some great content. Share it with everybody, all right? Don't be selfish. Share it, share it, share it. Come on, get it out there. Tell everybody about it, okay? Thank you very much for watching this clip, and stay tuned. More clips are coming in the future. Thank you very much, and have a great day.